Welcome to the championship bracket of the 2025 Parkland Challenge. I'm your host, Antoine Thomas. After 4 rounds and 12 games, it comes down to Champaign Central, Oakwood, St. Joseph-Ogden, and Champaign Centennial. Let's meet our players for our first semi-final.
Dexter, sophomore.
Xavier Barr, sophomore.
Sophia Stewart, senior.
Chris Miller, sophomore.
Ruby Landry, sophomore.
Emily Miller, junior.
Madison Steffen, senior.
Avery Beckett, senior.
Carolyn Beckett, senior.
Christina Silva, sophomore.
Anthony Wantland, sophomore.
Evan Larson, freshman.
All right, let's get started. Central, are you ready? Centennial, are you ready? All right, let's get started with our first question of the game. Which vitamin is also known as ascorbic acid? Emily.
Vitamin B.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Your vitamin A.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is vitamin C. What noted New Jersey college began in the city of Elizabeth, but later moved to the town that shares its name? Sophia.
Princeton.
That is correct. On the classic sitcom I Love Lucy, what was Lucy's Scottish maiden name? And the correct answer is McGillicuddy. What artist prompted the Impressionist movement? Xavier.
Monet.
That is correct. What 3 countries did President George W. Bush call the axis of evil? Dexter.
Iraq, Iran, and Afghanistan.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Say Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Iraq.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Iran, Iraq, and North Korea.
Oh, okay.
This president was assassinated in 1901. Dexter.
McKinley.
That is correct. What name is given to an adult male duck? And the correct answer is Drake. Baker's dirty and cheaper by refer to what? Emily.
A dozen.
That is correct. How many points must a stag elk have on each of its antlers to be considered mature? Chris.
6.
6 is correct. Which amendment to the Constitution prohibits double jeopardy? Dexter.
5th Amendment.
That is correct. Which chemical compound makes up about 2/3 of human body weight? Xavier.
H2O.
That is correct. What boys' organization was originally called Sons of Daniel Boone? Sophia.
Boy Scouts.
That is correct. In the financial world, the initials CD are short for what? Dexter.
Certificate of deposit.
That is correct. Who was the first cartoon character to get his own star on Hollywood Boulevard's Walk of Fame? Caroline.
Mickey Mouse.
That is correct.
Nice.
What is the square root of 16? Chris.
4.
That is correct. What outdoor drama, The Lost Colony, tells of a famous English colony? Avery.
Roanoke.
That is incorrect. The rest of the question is, the outdoor drama, The Lost Colony, tells of a famous English colony, Roanoke, that disappeared without a trace in 1590. What state was it in?
Virginia. Virginia.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is North Carolina.
Close.
What was the pseudonym of William Sidney Portier? And the correct answer is O. Henry. What author created Peter Rabbit in 1893? Sophia.
Beatrix Potter.
That is correct. What popular business periodical is published using the motto, the capitalist tool? Dexter.
Wall Street Journal.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
I know.
Sure.
Oh, it's
And an answer would be?
no answer.
The correct answer is Forbes magazine.
That is one of them.
What do you call the mown area of grass on a golf course that stretches between the tee? Chris.
Fairway.
That is correct. And now the video question goes to Central.
On February 16th, 2025, what NBC TV show celebrated its 50th anniversary with a special show that had celebrity guests and returning cast members?
So, don't have circus. Are you asking? Seriously? Do you know? Yes. Oh, Saturday Night Live. I know. I didn't know. Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live celebrated 50 years with a special show that included former great cast members such as Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy, and Will Ferrell.
And now back to our questions. Who was the author of Mere Christianity? Dexter.
C.S. Lewis.
That is correct. What is the Latin term for the science of language? Xavier.
Linguistica.
Can you please repeat the answer?
Linguistica.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Etymology.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is actually linguistics.
Oh, that's all that. I thought it was asking the actual Latin term.
What river runs through Baghdad? Dexter.
Tiber.
Please repeat the answer.
Tiber.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Just name it.
Mississippi.
And your answer would be?
No answer.
The answer is Tigris River. What tropical disease were mental patients initially infected with in the early 1900s as a treatment for insanity? Emily.
Malaria.
That is correct. What former Mighty Python member went on to direct such movies as The Fisher King, 12 Monkeys? Dexter.
Terry Gilliam.
That is correct. What continent gets the least amount of precipitation? Chris.
Antarctica.
That is correct. What type of animal is Looney Tunes fictional character Foghorn J. Leghorn? Sophia.
Rooster.
That is correct. What successful internet company was led by CEO Meg Whitman, who joined when there was just 29 employees? Dexter.
eBay.
eBay is correct. Who was Fred Flintstone's sidekick? And the correct answer is Barney. What does Shakespeare think all the world is? Emily.
The stage.
That is correct. What book serves as the inspiration for Apocalypse Now? Dexter.
Heart of Darkness.
That is correct. What U.S. president shared the White House with a pet snake named Emily Spinach? Sophia.
Jackson.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Teddy Roosevelt.
That is correct.
Spinach.
What racetrack is home to the Kentucky Derby? Chris.
Churchill Downs.
That is correct. In what state would you find Fort King George, a colonial historic site? Emily.
Virginia.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Okay, Massachusetts.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Georgia.
George.
In I Love Lucy, Lucy is married to Ricky Ricardo. What was her last name in the real life? Madison.
Ball.
That is correct. Who expected to be paid £2,000 for surrendering West Point to the British? Sophia.
Arnold.
That is correct. If your spoon, sinker, and jig become tangled with your monofilament, what are you doing? Sophia.
Fishing.
That is correct. How many miles of arteries, capillaries, and veins are there in the adult human body? Chris.
2.
That is incorrect.
5.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is 62,000.
Oh, we were a bit off. 5.
That's close. There's a lot of little on that one.
What Oklahoma metropolis was for years the oil capital of the world? Dexter.
Tulsa.
That is correct. And that ends our round.
Great futures start at Parkland College. Classes are affordable. Transfer your credit towards a bachelor's degree. Get training for in-demand careers. And academic and financial help is there when you need it. Fall classes start August 18th. Enroll now at parkland.edu/fall25.
With the score of Centennial 210 and Central 80, we now go into the lightning round where wrong answers will cost you points. Let's get started with the first question. Which U.S. state, excluding Alaska, extends farthest north? Emily.
Maine.
That is incorrect. Minnesota is the correct answer. Geologists use 3 classifications for rock. What are they? Xavier.
Sedimentary, metamorphic, igneous.
That is correct. Pittsburgh's tallest building, the 64-story USX building tower, is owned by what metals company? And the correct answer is U.S. Steel. What do people with type 1 diabetes have to inject themselves with? Dexter.
Insulin.
That is correct. What 2 kinds of dogs are bred to make a puggle? Emily.
A pug and a poodle.
Can you please repeat the answer?
A pug and a poodle.
That is incorrect. It's a pug and a beagle. The 13 colonies became the first 13 states. What was the 14th state to join the Union? And the correct answer is Vermont. What is the name for the personalized online characters chosen by users to represent themselves in a virtual world? Xavier.
Avatar.
That is correct. What billion-dollar energy corporation collapsed after a 2002 financial? Dexter.
Enron.
That is correct. It's a spider, a comic book character. Dexter.
Black Widow.
That is correct. On what sea does the Ukrainian port? Chris.
Black.
That is correct. What unit of measure was once defined as the length of 3 grains of barley laid end to end? Sophia.
Inch.
Inch is correct. What was first crossed by tightrope by Charles Dexter?
The Twin Towers.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Niagara Falls. What element comes last alphabetically? Chris.
Xenon.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is zirconium. What country boasts Great Glen, Glen Eagles, and Glenfiddich? And the correct answer is Scotland. And that ends our lightning round.
Great future start at Parkland College. Classes are affordable. Transfer your credit towards a bachelor's degree. Get training for in-demand careers. And academic and financial help is there when you need it. Enroll now at parkland.edu/fall25.
And let's get started with round 3. Going into round 3, we have Centennial at 260, Central at 60. First question in round 3. What French word refers to an afternoon or morning performance? Sophia.
Matinee.
That is correct. What century did mathematicians first use plus and minus signs? Ruby.
The 4th.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Yes.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is the 16th.
Oh.
What do you call a word that is created by mixing up the letters of another word? Emily.
Anagram.
That is correct. This anonymous British graffiti artist, Emily.
Banksy.
That is correct. Which is the world's 3rd largest continent? Dexter.
North America.
That is correct. What is the nickname of the NBA team in Memphis, Tennessee? Dexter.
Grizzlies.
That is correct. What do you call an instrument that measures air pressure? Ruby.
A barometer.
That is correct. What car is the ultimate driving machine? Dexter.
Subaru.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Chevrolet.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is BMW.
Oh, okay.
How many books in the Bible are named for women? Carolyn.
2.
That is correct. What does ESPN stand for? Xavier.
Entertainment and Sports Production Network.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
I just read this on my phone. 2 days.
Maybe?
Sure.
Entertainment, sports, politics, news.
That is incorrect.
You know.
It's Entertainment and Sports Programming Network.
I just looked it up on one.
In 1961, President Kennedy appointed his brother-in-law, Sergeant Shivers, to direct what volunteer organization? Xavier.
Peace Corps?
That is correct. Which successful general in the Mexican-American War succeeded James K. Dexter?
Roosevelt.
That is incorrect. Succeeded James K. Polk as President of the United States.
Taylor.
That is correct. What is a district under the jurisdiction of a bishop called? Ruby.
A diocese.
That is correct. What is professional wrestler John Cena's famous catchphrase? Xavier.
You can't see me?
That is correct. What device was introduced commercially in 1934 as a portable super regenerative receiver and transmitter? Evan?
A radio?
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Is that my
Maybe. I was thinking maybe a ham radio specific. You can say.
part? Microwave?
That is incorrect. The correct answer is a walkie-talkie.
Oh.
God.
What term refers to something that distracts from a relevant or important issue? Ruby.
Red herring.
That is correct. In what capital did Jefferson Davis take office as President of the Confederacy? Dexter.
Richmond?
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Yeah.
Charleston.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Montgomery, Alabama. What semi-fired, waterproof ceramic clay is used in building construction and is known for its brownish orange color? Ruby.
Terracotta.
That is correct. What component of an electrical current restricts the flow of electricity? Ruby?
Resistor.
That is correct. What mighty river forms the entire eastern boundary of Missouri and Arkansas? Sophia?
Mississippi.
That is correct. What word describes an act that's disrespectful to God or that mocks? Ruby?
Sacrilege. Sacrilege.
Yeah, that is correct. Which sport has jumps that include the toe loop and the lutz? Ruby?
Hobby horsing.
That is incorrect.
Figure skating.
Figure skating is correct.
How'd you know that?
What is the name of the computer in Stanley Kubrick's 2001? Emily?
How?
That is correct. And now the video round goes to Centennial.
On April 14th, 2025, Jeff Bezos' company Blue Origins successfully sent this female pop star, along with 5 other women, into space.
Katy Perry.
Music artist Katy Perry said she had dreamt of going to space for 15 years, and she stated that the 11-minute space flight made her feel super connected to life and so connected to love.
All right, let's get back to our questions. What famous 5th century conqueror was known as the Scourge of God? Ruby?
William.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Sure. Attila.
That is correct. A wireless technology standard for exchanging data over short distances using short wavelengths UHF radio waves in the ISM band from 2.4 to 2.485 gigahertz. Emily?
Bluetooth.
That is correct. Sacramento, California's tallest building is the 30-story center of what famous cargo and armored car company? Sophia?
Brink.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Yep.
Oh, I'm not taking that.
They did one. I love Lucy.
And the answer would be?
No answer.
The correct answer is Wells Fargo.
No.
Yeah.
I guess Wells Fargo, they are a car company.
If you visit Oklahoma and see the musical Trail of Tears, what Indian tribe? Sophia?
Cherokee.
That is correct. What deep south state celebrates August 30th as Huey P. Long Day? Xavier?
Louisiana.
That is correct. Quasimodo is the protagonist of?
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That is correct. To Have and Have Not is the only novel written by what author to be set in the U.S.? Sophia?
Hemingway.
That is correct. What color hair naturally graces the head of 1 in 16 Americans? Ruby?
Red.
That is correct. What hormonal product inspired both a Monty Python skit and a widely used computer term? And the correct answer is spam.
Spam.
Name the technology, theoretically incorruptible digital ledger of transactions that underlies cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin.
Blockchain.
That is correct. What leading man appeared in the following movies? Cool Hand Luke, The Sting, Dexter.
Paul Newman.
That is correct. What V word is defined as a liquid's ability to resist? Xavier?
Viscosity.
That is correct. What beloved writer of songs about the South hardly ever visited the region? Ruby.
Beyonce.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
I don't know.
Johnny Depp.
And your answer would be?
Johnny Cash.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Stephen Foster.
Wait, why did I say Johnny Depp?
Yeah, why did you say It's a great
According to the title, who was the prisoner of Azkaban? Ruby.
Sirius Black.
That is correct. What novel highway phenomenon was introduced at Woodbridge, New Jersey in 1929? Xavier.
The route system?
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
That's good.
toll system.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is the Cloverleaf Interchange.
Those.
In 1997, The Simpsons made television history, becoming longest-running primetime cartoon series. What series did they surpass? Ruby.
Happy Days?
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
YouTube short saves.
I don't
know what it is.
Is it a cartoon?
Flintstones?
Flintstones is correct.
Oh.
The Ideal Company marketed dolls named for what child star of the 1930s? Sophia.
Raggedy Ann.
That is incorrect.
I don't know.
Shirley Temple?
That is correct.
Raggedy Ann.
And that ends round.
Great future start at Parkland College. Classes are affordable. Transfer your credit towards a bachelor's degree. Get training for in-demand careers. And academic and financial help is there when you need it. Enroll in classes now at parkland.edu/summerfall25.
Centennial moves on to the championship match. They will wait to see if they have to take on a Spartan or a Comet. Stay with us for a semifinal round 2 coming up next. In the second semifinal, Oakwood and St. Joseph-Ogden will battle it out for an opportunity to face Centennial in the championship. Let's meet the teams.
Luke Ditchfield, Sr.
Caleb Peoples, Jr.
Landon Roberts, Jr.
Lauren Harris, Sr.
Amber Rupel, Jr.
Jeff Gossett, Jr.
Paul Carello, Sr.
Noah Carpenter, Sr.
Alex Wells, Jr.
William Irick, Jr.
Lily Pickering, freshman.
Now that we've met the teams, let's go ahead and get started with round 1. St. Joseph-Ogden, are you ready? And Oakwood, are you ready? All right, first question. What religious sect with its mother church in Boston publishes a prestigious newspaper? Noah.
Christian Scientists.
That is correct. In terms of revenue, what package delivery firm is the nation's largest transport company? Alex.
Amazon.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
FedEx or UPS? I think it's UPS, but I'm not sure.
UPS.
UPS is correct. What world currency does AUD represent? Caleb.
The Australian dollar.
That is correct. Which is the last letter of the Greek alphabet? Caleb.
Omega.
That is correct. What was the first commercial product that had a barcode? Luke.
Soup cans.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Eggs.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Wrigley's Juicy Fruit Gum. What year were cars with ignition keys first produced? Caleb.
1908.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
1920.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is 1949. In the Who's rock opera, Tommy, what was Tommy's game of choice? Lauren.
Poker.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Blackjack.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is pinball. What is a traditional German stew made from marinated rabbit or hare? Luke.
Borscht.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
That's Russian.
Gosh, what the heck?
No answer.
The correct answer is Hassenpfeffer.
How come you didn't know that? What the heck, man?
Which hormone produced in the adrenal medulla is released in dangerous situations? Alex.
Adrenaline.
That is correct. How many pairs of legs does a shrimp have? Landon.
3.
3 is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
4.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is 5.
Okay.
Madeira is an island off the coast of Africa. What language is spoken there? Caleb.
Spanish.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
French.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Portuguese. Sally Field won an Oscar playing a real-life labor union organizer in what 1979 movie? And the correct answer is Norma Ray. What is the triangular portion of an end wall under a sloping roof called? Caleb.
A rafter.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Gable.
That is correct. Which group bought internet company Skype in 2005 for $2.6 billion? Landon.
Apple.
Apple is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Microsoft.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is eBay. The first atom bomb was successfully tested in which U.S. state? Luke.
New Mexico.
That is correct. Who developed the modern theory of evolution? Caleb.
Darwin.
That is correct. What do you call the point on a celestial sphere that is vertically above the observer? Lauren.
Gazing point.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Epicenter.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is zenith. This U.S. state celebrates Will Rogers Day every November on his birthday. Caleb.
Oklahoma.
That is correct. What national event is celebrated every April 22nd? Caleb.
Earth Day.
That is correct. Which religion with more than 2 billion members is the largest in the world? Alex.
Christianity.
That is correct. And now the video round goes to St. Joseph-Ogden.
For the first time in NBA history, 2 reigning All-NBA players were traded for each other mid-season. Can you name the 2 players?
Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis.
The basis of the deal that took place on February 2nd, 2025, saw Luka Doncic go to the Los Angeles Lakers and Anthony Davis move to the Dallas Mavericks.
And now back to the questions. Where was Allerton Park founder Robert Allerton born? Luke.
Virginia.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
New Jersey.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Chicago, Illinois. What First Amendment guarantees free speech? The Second Amendment guarantees the right to bear arms. What is the purpose of the Third Amendment? Alex.
To prevent soldiers quartering in homes.
That is correct. What noteworthy geographic wonder is located in the Coral Sea? Caleb.
The Great Barrier Reef.
That is correct. The B-2 bomber is also called the stealth bomber because of its ability to do what? Alex.
Camouflage?
That is incorrect.
I think it deflects sonar. Does it deflect sonar?
That is incorrect. It avoids radar detection.
We have the right idea.
What's the crucial card in the game of hearts? Noah.
Queen of Spades.
That is correct. What state is nicknamed the Beehive State? Caleb.
Utah.
That is correct. Playwright Arthur Miller was married to what Hollywood Lauren?
Marilyn Monroe.
That is correct. What metal has the highest melting point? Aluminum, tungsten, or zinc? Will.
Tungsten.
That is correct. What is the tar-like substance babies secrete soon after birth? And the correct answer is merconium. King Edward VIII abdicated the throne of England in 1936 to marry what woman? Alex.
Simpson?
That is correct. In IT jargon, what does RAM stand for? Luke.
Random access memory?
That is correct. Ironically, President Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and James Monroe all died. Caleb?
July 4th.
That is correct. What is the first word in the Declaration of Independence? Luke.
Life?
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
We.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is when. Which sea lies between Italy and the former Yugoslavia? Noah.
The Adriatic.
That is correct. To which breed of animal do Russian blues belong? Landon.
Cats.
That is correct. Venice, Florida has the world's only training school for what type of comical entertainers? Luke.
Clowns?
That is correct. Name the 2 U.S. states that don't have counties. Landon.
Louisiana and Alaska.
That is correct. Cartoonist Robert Ripley became popular with what syndicated feature? Lauren.
Dialogue bubbles.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
No answer.
The correct answer is Ripley's Believe It or Not. The name of what Canadian city translates to Mount Royal? Noah.
Montreal.
That is correct. Who once said the hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax? Luke.
Mark Twain.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Feigman.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Albert Einstein.
Be my guess.
What name is given to an inert substance administered in place of an active drug? Lauren.
Placebo.
That is correct. The Age of Bronze is a life-size bronze statue created by which French sculptor? Noah.
Rodin.
That is correct. And that ends our round.
My name is Brittany Scott. I went to Parkland College and graduated in 2016. I decided to not go to a four-year school to save some money. I knew I would take the same classes. Actually, some of my classes here were more difficult than my four-year school. I studied general science. I am a civil designer or civil engineer. It's very rewarding to me to see something go from the plans that you drew to being built. Great futures start at Parkland College.
Going into round 2, we have Oakwood at 110, St. Joseph-Ogden at 180, and it's time for the lightning round where wrong answers cost you points. Let's get started with the first question. If you just had a nephrectomy, what part of the body has been surgically removed? Luke.
Kidney.
Kidney is correct.
It's always kidney.
Always kidney.
How many points does the Star of David have? Caleb.
6.
That is correct. In Norse mythology, the home of the gods is Asgard. What is the hall of heroes called? Luke.
Valhalla.
That is correct. What famous news channel has its headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia? Noah.
CNN.
That is correct. What do a shoe, a car, and a top hat have in common? And the correct answer is they're all pieces in the game of Monopoly. What planet is rapidly losing its carbon dioxide ice caps, according to photos snapped in 2001? Will.
Mars.
Mars is correct. Grand Lake, Colorado is beside a glacial lake that is the source of what major river? Caleb.
The Colorado River.
That is correct. Who wrote the novel The Outsiders, which was published? Luke.
Hinton.
That is correct. How is the number 14 written in Roman numerals? Caleb.
XIV.
That is correct. The Wayside Inn, founded in 1702, is America's oldest inn still in operation. What New England state is it in? And the correct answer is Massachusetts. What city is home to Sun Records and Graceland? Caleb.
Memphis.
That is correct. Which term describes the member of the ancient Roman nobility as well as affluent citizen in the Middle Ages? And the correct answer is the patrician. What does NPR stand for? Caleb.
National Public Radio.
That is correct. And that ends our lightning round.
My name is Sampan Penlin, but I go by Sam. I'm a townie, so I was always aware of Parkland, and I had decided to get into policing. I came to Parkland and started studying criminal justice. I actually had the opportunity to gain a lot of really good relevant work experience. And I was here from fall of 1999, and then I transferred to Western Illinois University and started my police career up in Joliet, Illinois. I've been at Parkland for about 6.5 years, so it's been nice to support students in the way that I was back then. It feels like home. Great futures start at Parkland College.
Going into round 3, the score is Oakwood 130, St. Joseph-Ogden 260. Let's get started with the first question in round 3. Excluding the polar ice caps, what is the largest system of fresh water on Earth? Caleb.
The Amazon.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
The Great Lakes.
The Great Lakes is correct. What is the most populous city in the Southern Hemisphere? Caleb.
Sao Paulo.
That is correct. How old was Jimi Hendrix when he died? Luke.
29.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
32.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is 27. What was the occupation of Luke Skywalker's aunt and uncle on Luke?
Moisture farmers.
That is correct. Who wrote the book of Three I Sing? Sorry, who wrote the book of Thee I Sing, The Audacity of Hope, and Dreams of My Father? Lauren.
Angelou.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
O'Connor.
Can you repeat?
O'Connor.
O'Connor is incorrect. The correct answer is Barack Obama. Automaker Henry Ford shocked the world in 1914 by raising his employees' wages from $2.34 a day to what staggering amount? Luke.
$10 a day.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
$5.
That is correct. What does the IT abbreviation ROM stand for? And the correct answer is read-only memory.
Okay.
Which ancient Greek author wrote the fable, The Tortoise and Luke?
Aesop.
That is correct. What piece of South American clothing consists of a four-cornered piece of cloth with a slit in the center? Noah.
A poncho.
That is correct. Who lives in a pineapple under? Lauren.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
That is correct. What is the male part of a flower called? Landon.
Pistol.
That is incorrect.
Stoma.
Stoma is incorrect. It's actually stamen. By what name were advocates of women voting rights in the early... Alex.
Suffragettes.
That is correct. In 2006, Cuba's Fidel Castro handed over power to his brother, Luke.
Raul.
That is correct. What was the name of Britney Spears' 1999 debut album? And the correct answer is Baby One More Time. What is the unit name for 1/100th of a second? Alex.
Millisecond.
That is incorrect.
No. I think microsecond maybe.
Microsecond.
That is incorrect. It's called a jiffy.
Oh. Jiffy.
Who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird? Lauren.
Lee.
That is correct. Under which other name is the atmospheric phenomenon Aurora Borealis known? Lily.
Northern Lights.
That is correct. Bracketville, Texas has a replica of what ill-fated battle site? Landon.
The Alamo.
That is correct. What is the name of Leonardo da Vinci's portrait of the wife of the Florentine merchant Luke?
Mona Lisa.
That is correct. What were the name of the four main characters in the TV series Golden Girls? And, Alex.
Mindy, Lucille, Karen, and Audrey.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
I've never seen
I don't know.
Oh. Susan, Margaret, Jessica, and Brittany.
That is incorrect. It's Blanche, Dorothy, Rose, and Sophia.
Okay.
What is a geographic coordinate system at which longitude is defined to be 0? Caleb.
The Prime Meridian.
That is correct. What Civil War general made the famous quote, "War is hell"? Lauren.
Lee.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Yeah, sure. Sherman.
Sherman is correct. And now the video round goes to Oakwood.
On April 6th, 2025, this Washington Capitals left winger became the greatest goal scorer in NHL history, passing Wayne Gretzky with his 895th career goal.
Ocheski.
39-year-old Alexander Ovechkin's record-breaking goal ended Wayne Gretzky's 31-year reign for most career goals. Gretzky still easily stands on top of the career points list by nearly 1,000 points, with 2,857.
And now back to the questions. What European explorer discovered Alaska? Alex. And your answer would be?
Drake.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Bering.
Bering is correct. What is the only state capital named for a saint? Noah.
St. Paul.
That is correct. What physicist's last words were not understood because his... Lily.
Albert Einstein.
That is correct. 1774, Rhode Island was the first U.S. state to ban this. Alex.
Slavery.
That is correct. Whose migraine headache vanished after he read Robert Eats? Lauren.
Lincoln.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Grant.
Grant is correct.
That's my guess, and that I was thinking president.
Dealey Plaza is the infamous site of Caleb.
Dallas.
That is incorrect. Dealey Plaza is the infamous site of what event in United States history?
The assassination of Kennedy.
That is correct. How many planets are closer to the sun than the Earth? Lily.
1.
1 is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
2.
2 is correct. What Ivy League college is in Ithaca, New York? Caleb.
Cornell.
That is correct. In 1954, what landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court struck down Lauren?
Brown v. Board.
That is correct. What two outlaws were portrayed in a 1967 movie with Lauren?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
That is incorrect. In a movie with Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway.
Bonnie and Clyde.
That is correct. How did Socrates die? Luke.
He fell.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Drowning.
That is incorrect. He drank hemlock.
That'll do it.
This Canadian singer was a country pop music force in the 1990s. Alex.
Trisha Yearwood.
That is incorrect. Her songs included Man, I Feel Like a Woman, You're Still the One, and That Don't Impress Me Much. Who is
Shania
she?
Twain.
That is correct. On the evening that the President Lincoln was assassinated, another leader in the federal government was attacked and stabbed, though he survived. Noah.
Seward.
Seward is correct. It's a type of burger and a type of pitch in baseball. What is it? Luke.
Slider.
That is correct. Which common measurement unit for power used the abbreviation HP? Luke.
Hertz.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Horsepower.
Horsepower is correct.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
From the Latin for peace, what do you call people who oppose wars and the use of weapons? Alex.
Pacifist?
That is correct.
Let's go hippies.
What annual Alaskan race sees participants travel from Anchorage to Nome? Noah.
The Iditarod?
That is correct. For whose grandson was Camp David the president? Noah.
Eisenhower?
That is correct. What was the acronym used for the mobile hospitals pioneered in World War II? Noah.
MASH.
That is correct. What three terms are represented in Newton's second law of motion, F equals ma? Alex.
Force, mass, and acceleration?
That is correct. And that ends our round.
My name is Zach Steffen, and my current role is an advanced markets consultant with Country Financial. I chose Parkland out of high school mainly because affordability, and I knew I would get a good education and be prepared for whatever the next steps were. The class sizes are the right size. The faculty is very accessible. I was able to take the skills I learned at Parkland and hit the ground running at Illinois. Ended up graduating in 2012 with a degree in agricultural economics. Great futures start at Parkland College.
St. Joseph-Ogden wins to advance to the championship, where they will take on Champaign Centennial. Stay tuned for that next. Thank you, contestants. We started with 15 schools, and after 14 games, it comes down to Champaign Centennial and St. Joseph-Ogden for the 2025 Parkland Challenge Championships. Let's go ahead and meet the players from each team.
Dexter, sophomore.
Xavier Barr, sophomore.
Sophia Stewart, senior.
Chris Miller, sophomore.
Ruby Landry, sophomore.
Luke Ditchfield, senior.
Caleb Peoples, junior.
Landon Roberts, junior.
Lauren Harris, senior.
Amber Rupel, junior.
Jeff Gossett, junior.
All right, let's jump on into our first round. Contestants, are you ready? All right, let's go ahead. First question of the first round. What is the highest lake in South America? Caleb.
Lake Titicaca.
That is correct. What legal term is used to describe a jury that is unable to come? Dexter.
Hung.
That is correct.
Yeah.
What does the abbreviation IQ stand for? Luke.
Intelligence qualification.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Intelligence quotient.
That is correct. By what name are cowpeas also known? Caleb.
Sugar snap peas.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Sweet pea? Sure. Sweet pea?
That is incorrect. The correct answer is black eyed peas.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which musical instrument derived its name from the Italian words for soft and loud? Sophia.
Pianoforte?
That is correct. A baby kangaroo is called a joey. What are its parents called? Caleb.
Jack and Jill.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
That might just be like a stumpy.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's like a boxer and then
Boxer and Jill.
Sure.
Boxer and Jill?
That is incorrect. The mom is called the flyer, and the dad is called the bomber.
That's an Australian.
Way off. Okay.
What part of the human body is named for its resemblance to the seahorse? Sophia.
Hippocampus?
That is correct.
Oh, that makes sense.
The 2012 film Lincoln wrongly depicted two congressmen from which state voting against the constitutional amendment to end slavery? Ruby.
Alabama.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
South Carolina.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Connecticut. This car company is based on Wolfsburg, Germany, and means people's car. Luke.
Volkswagen.
That is correct. What agricultural process separates wheat from the chaff? Sophia.
Milling.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Separation.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is threshing.
Oh, yeah.
In 1907, the Jim Manufacturing Company patented a slide-on double oval design of what everyday object? Caleb.
Glasses.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
A water bottle?
Sure.
What?
Tennis shoe?
Tennis shoe.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is paperclip.
Oh. Oh.
Learn something new. Who wrote the Goldberg Variations? Ruby.
Rube Goldberg.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Fibonacci.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is J.S. Bach.
Oh, that's a music.
Music.
Which United States cabinet level department administers the census? Luke.
Interior.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
First. Office of Information.
That is incorrect. Department of Commerce.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Which underwater animal of the Porphyria group lacks muscles, nerves, and internal organs? Ruby.
Jellyfish.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Blobfish.
Starfish.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is sponge. What name is given to the dolphin fish to make its sound more appetizing on menus? Luke.
Chilean sea bass.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
I don't know. I feel like I've heard something.
Maybe? I don't know. You feel it? Okay, feel it. If you
Swordfish?
That is incorrect. The correct answer is mahi mahi.
Yeah.
Oh. And now the video round goes to St. Joseph-Ogden.
On January 27th, 2025, this leading supplier of AI chips lost nearly $600 billion in market value, the most a stock has ever lost in a single day.
Yeah, it's NVIDIA.
Yeah, it's gotta be something. It has to be.
NVIDIA?
NVIDIA lost the record amount after the fear of competition increased when DeepSeek released their Chinese AI chip model.
All right, back to the questions. What band are Mike D, MCA, and Ad Rock a part of? Dexter.
Beastie Boys.
That is correct. There are 2 independent nations in Europe that are smaller than 1 square mile. One is the Vatican City. What is the other?
San Marino.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Monaco.
That is correct. What 4 spices are mentioned in the Salmon and Garfunkel song Scarborough Fair? And the correct answer is parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Oh, I should have.
Fred Noonan disappeared over the Pacific with what well-known aviator? Dexter.
Amelia Earhart.
That is correct. What is a bond, deed, or other document kept in the custody of a third party, taking effect only when a specified condition has been? Lauren.
Contract.
That is incorrect. A specified condition has been fulfilled.
Oh, yeah.
I think an NDA.
A trust.
That's yeah, maybe trust.
A trust.
That is incorrect. It's actually escrow. Who was the 14th president of the United States? Xavier.
Franklin Pierce.
That is correct.
Good job.
Which expression signals a hit in fencing? Xavier.
Oh, touche.
That is correct. What 10-year-old began earning his bad reputation by throwing puppies of Ruby?
The dentist from Little Shop of Horrors.
That is incorrect. By throwing puppies off the Kremlin wall in 1540. Would you like to steal?
Who's the dictator? Yeah, go for it.
Peter the Great.
That is incorrect. It's Ivan the Terrible. What great Italian explorer did Frederick Mark play in 1949 film? Dexter.
Marco Polo.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Vespucci.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Christopher Columbus. Actor Paul Giamatti's father was commissioner of what major sport? Luke.
Basketball.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Baseball is up here. Baseball. Baseball.
Baseball is correct. Name the 2004 documentary in which Morgan Spurlock ate only Luke.
Supersize Me.
That is correct.
Yes.
What is the only state with a one-syllable name? Dexter.
Maine.
That is correct. In which ancient Greek work is the Trojan War described? Sophia.
The Iliad.
That is correct. What grassroots conservative political organization was founded by religious broadcaster Pat Robertson? Sophia.
The Moral Majority.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
I don't think so, but
Is it for life? For life.
That is incorrect. It's the Christian Coalition. What is the name for the area with the lowest elevation in California? Dexter.
Death Valley.
That is correct. What is the capital of the Philippines? Xavier.
Manila.
That is correct. What was the name of the ship Charles Darwin was traveling? Luke.
Beagle.
That is correct. What Georgia city did the British capture on December 29th, 1778? Caleb.
Savannah.
That is correct. What T word is a fabric woven as to have a surface of diagonal parallel ridges? Sophia.
Tartan.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Yeah, I don't know.
Tablecloth.
Say something.
tarp.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is twill.
Oh.
What English-speaking Caribbean island has a Spanish name meaning bearded? Dexter.
Barbados.
That is correct. And that ends round one.
Great futures start at Parkland College. Classes are affordable. Transfer your credit towards a bachelor's degree. Get training for in-demand careers. And academic and financial help is there when you need it. Enroll in classes now at parkland.edu/summerfall25.
Going into round two, we have a score of Champaign Centennial 140, St. Joseph-Ogden 80, and this is the lightning round where wrong answers will cost you points. Let's go ahead and get started. Name the Secretary of State under Andrew Johnson who orchestrated the purchase of Alaska. Dexter.
Seward.
That is correct. What toy logs that have amused generations of American kids are named for what president? Sophia.
Lincoln Logs.
That is correct. Name the computer database company started by Larry Ellison in 1977. Sophia.
IBM.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Oracle. What bird receives a presidential pardon each fall? Dexter.
Turkey.
That is correct. Which part of the human body is examined using an otoscope? Ruby.
The ear.
That is correct. What did a law passed by the Pope at the time of the Black Plague require people to do when they sneezed? Ruby.
Bless. Say bless you.
We'll take it, thank you. Name 2 of the 3 biggest deserts in Africa. Caleb.
Sahara and Kalahari.
That is correct. What was the first expansion team to win a World Series? And the correct answer is the New York Mets. Identify Shakespeare's play by the list of characters. Puck, Oberon, Dexter.
A Midsummer Night's Dream.
That is correct. What term is used for 2 under par in golf? Luke.
Eagle.
That is correct. What instrument did Miles Davis play? Xavier.
Trumpet.
That is correct. What popular comic strip has a concerto named in its honor by a contemporary composer? And the correct answer is Peanuts. Who was Prince Philip married to? Ruby.
Diana.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Queen Elizabeth. Who was president of the Confederate States? Xavier.
Jefferson Davis.
That is correct. And that ends our lightning round.
Great futures start at Parkland College. Classes are affordable. Transfer your credit towards a bachelor's degree. Get training for in-demand careers. And academic and financial help is there when you need it. Enroll now at parkland.edu/fall25.
Right now, Centennial has the lead. Let's see if they can hang on to it for the win. Let's get started with our questions. What do the initials APB stand for when police departments are looking for suspects? Chris.
Are potentially dangerous.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Potentially B. Potentially B.
And your answer would be?
No answer.
All points bulletin. What do you call a poker hand in which 5 random cards belong to the same suit? Landon.
Flush.
That is correct. How many milk teeth does a human being normally have? Luke.
20.
That is correct. Who did King David commit adultery with while her husband Sophia?
Bathsheba.
That is correct. He was a abolitionist. A song written about him later became
John Brown.
John Brown is correct. What does E represent in E equals Chris?
Energy.
That is correct. What British Commonwealth nation has the most people driving on the right side of the road? Xavier.
India.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
I think so. Canada.
Canada is correct.
No sense. Yeah.
What breed of dog with a city in its name is the only breed of dog developed in the U.S.? Caleb.
Boston Terrier.
That is correct. What woman was involved in the assassination of Abraham Lincoln? Caleb.
Mary Surratt.
That is correct. What is 70% of 70? Chris.
49.
That is correct. In what state did Tony Soprano and his family live on?
New Jersey.
That is correct.
Yeah.
What metropolis would you enter if you crossed the Delaware River via the Benjamin Franklin Bridge? Caleb.
Philadelphia.
That is correct. What is the international unit called used to measure electrical power? Chris.
Watts.
That is correct. What is the Latin for the expression seize the day? Dexter.
Carpe diem.
That is correct. What famous woman painter started painting because her fingers had become too stiff for embroidering? Sophia.
Hollow.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
O'Keefe.
That is incorrect. Grandma Moses. What color is the center line in a ice hockey rink? Luke.
Red.
That is correct. What Asian people traditionally believe there to be a toad on the moon instead of a man? Chris.
Dow.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Han.
That is incorrect. It's the Chinese. How many rooms are located in the White House? Luke.
76.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
100. Such many.
Seems like a lot.
196.
56.
The correct answer is 132. How many tires does a semi have? Caleb.
18.
That is correct. This term refers to the process of vacuum sealing food and cooking it. Sophia.
Sous vide.
That is correct. What was the name of the first ever man-made satellite? Caleb.
Sputnik.
That is correct. What do you call the little bits of paper left over when holes are punched in data cards or tape? Dexter.
Hanging chads.
That is correct.
Yeah.
In the novel To Kill a Mockingbird, what is the full name of the character who goes by Scout? Dexter.
Never mind.
All right. Like to steal.
Louise Finch.
We can't accept that answer because they wanted the full name, which is Jean Louise Finch. And now the video round goes to Centennial.
On March 2nd, 2025, the 97th Academy Awards were presented by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, where this film won a leading 5 awards, including Best Picture.
Nora.
Honora.
Overall, the film Honora received 6 nominations, winning for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Film Editing.
All right, and back to our questions. Next question. In the banking world, what do the initials PIN stand for? Xavier.
Personal identification number.
That is correct. What disease officially took the lives of the 3 Bronte sisters? Xavier.
Tuberculosis.
That is correct. Where is the naked cowboy, an underwear-clad guitarist, famous for playing? Caleb.
Dallas.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Sounds more like Austin.
Yeah, maybe.
Nashville.
I say Austin.
Sounds weird. Austin.
Nashville.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Times Square.
Oh, okay. Me neither.
If you are walking the street of the Golden Palace in Los Angeles, what ethnic neighborhood are you in? Sophia.
Chinatown.
That is correct. Which credit card company asks, "What's in your wallet?" Xavier.
Capital One.
That is correct. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, 1973, starred Chris Christopherson and what other music idol who wrote "Blowing in the Wind"? Dexter.
Bob Dylan.
That is correct. Archie and Edith sang "Those Were the Days" as the opening of what popular sitcom? And the correct answer is All in the Family. What Jack Webb series was the top-rated cop drama of the 1950s? Dexter.
Bounty Law.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Andy Griffith. Andy Griffith's show. Andy Griffith.
Nope, the correct answer is Dragnet. What was the only college in New England to remain open throughout the entire Revolutionary War? Caleb.
Harvard.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Yale.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Dartmouth College. What famous gangster was killed as he exited the Biograph Theater on Lincoln Avenue in Chicago? Caleb.
Al Capone.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Bugs Moran. Bugs Moran.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is John Dillinger. What is the geographical term for a narrow strip of land connecting Xavier?
Isthmus.
That is correct. What 1945 high school staple feature the line, "Whatever goes upon two legs is an enemy"? Luke.
Animal Farm.
That is correct. Jude Nelson, Anthony Michael Hall, Emilio Estevez, Molly Ringwald, Dexter.
Rat Pack.
That is incorrect. Molly Ringwald and Ali Sheedy were all...
Breakfast Club.
That is correct. Who was the first woman to be a U.S. president's wife and a president's mother? Caleb.
Abigail Adams.
That is correct. In 2001, U.S. President George W. Bush announces the establishment of what office? Caleb.
Department of Homeland Security.
That is correct. For which spacecraft did Edward White become the first American to walk in space? And the correct answer is Gemini 4. What is Shakespeare's longest play? Luke.
Richard III.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Hamlet. Who was the founder of Mormonism? Xavier.
John Smith.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith is correct.
Same thing.
And that ends round 3.
Great futures start at Parkland College. Classes are affordable. Transfer your credit towards a bachelor's degree. Get training for in-demand careers. And academic and financial help is there when you need it. Fall classes start August 18th. Enroll now at parkland.edu/fall25.
Here to present our trophy is the president of Parkland College, Dr. Pam Lau. First, our runners-up, St. Joseph-Ogden.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now our 2025 champions, Champaign Centennial. That has a little weight to it.
Well, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, it is heavy.